Hey everyone, welcome back to What the Film School. I'm Haley. Today we're going to talk about something a little bit more serious. We're going to discuss finding what you're good at and pursuing it, and then also feeling a little bit inadequate as an artist and how to get over those feelings. Now, I'll let you all in on a little secret. I actually really love to sing, but I never do it because I'm very bad at it. When I was younger, I did some choir classes, I would sing for fun, and I was basically told by my choir teacher that I could not sing whatsoever, that I sounded really scratchy, really tone deaf basically. It was a little upsetting, but I kind of had a feeling because I know, no offense, my mom can't sing either. I kind of inherited a bad singing voice. However, that being said, I realized that singing wasn't really my true calling, and it wasn't necessarily because I wasn't good at it. It was just because I wasn't passionate enough about it to actually pursue it, and it wasn't something that I felt like I needed to get better at because it wasn't going to help me down the road. So obviously, as I got older, I started to realize that I had a passion for filmmaking. And as you will have seen from my previous video of me watching my film from high school, you can check out the link below, that what I made when I was first starting to make films and starting to get into holding cameras and doing all that, none of it looked very good. But the difference between when I was singing and not sounding very good as an amateur and making films as an amateur and not feeling very good is that I knew I wanted to stick with filmmaking, and that's what I've continued to do, and obviously I've gotten much better from making high school movies. So that's not to say that I'm giving up on some kind of magical singing dream. I never really wanted to be a singer. The reason I wanted to bring this up in today's video is because if you have a dream to do something big, maybe it is singing, maybe it's directing, cinematography, whatever it might be, you're going to probably start out as I did and not be very good at it. And if there's something that you keep trying at that you really want to continue to do, then it's up to you to spend that time to get better at doing it and to keep doing it, because that's the only way that you're going to see any growth for yourself. But if you're like me and, you know, maybe you're trying something out and it doesn't feel right, or maybe you're just not good at it and it just doesn't feel like something you're that passionate about anymore, then it's okay to stop doing it. There's certainly things on set that I could be doing to get better at, but there are things I just don't want to spend the time to get better at because I know that my passions and my energy could be better spent learning how to be the best at what I really want to be doing. So another example is setting up sound equipment or setting up lighting equipment or wiring any of the electrical stuff on set. That really confuses me, and while I can do it and I've learned how to do the basics of it, it's not something that I can see myself spending all my extra time trying to learn how to get perfect at, because I know that there are people that actually do want to be doing that as a full-time job, as a career, and therefore they're going to be the ones that are spending their time doing it. So the other part about this that I wanted to talk about was just the feeling of inadequacy that you might be feeling as an artist. And this is something that I encounter to this day. I think a lot of artists can attest to this as well, because if you're trying to do something creative, especially if it's a really personal creative project, that's coming from you directly, and if people are criticizing it or you're comparing yourself to others, then it can be a really negative feeling that maybe you're not good enough, or if you are just starting out and you have those feelings of, why am I doing this? If it looks terrible, why am I doing this if I'm bad at it? But something that I'm trying to learn every day, every week of being creative and working in film and making videos is just how to push those feelings away and try to move past them. Because again, any negative thought like that is going to stop you from growing as an artist. I think it's pretty normal to feel like you want to quit sometimes. There are definitely days where I'm filming something and I feel like I should just quit because life would be easier if I quit. But when I take a step back and I realize that this is what I chose to do and this is what basically chose me, that kind of keeps me going, because I know that if I quit, I'll never get anywhere. So I think there's two sides to these feelings of insecurity as an artist, and I'm going to specifically talk to my experience as a videographer and an editor. So for the work that I do currently, I film videos for Instagram and for YouTube for someone else. And this last week, I was editing some videos and I could tell that the person I was making them for wasn't very happy with how they turned out. And I ended up getting a lot of critiques and a lot of edits from her, and it started to frustrate me because I was taking all of the feedback too personally, because I felt like, oh, this is just her telling me that I'm terrible at this and that I shouldn't be doing this, like why does it look so bad, like it's all my fault. I actually had to take a walk and leave the office to think about it a little bit. And after I walked around a little bit, I did realize that it was mostly my fault that it didn't look as good as it could have. But the best thing about it was that I recognized what was wrong with it, and moving forward, it's something that I want to fix. It's not something that I want to stop doing. I don't want to just quit. It's something that I want to say, okay, I'm gonna get back on my feet and I'm gonna keep doing it and I'm gonna do it better next time, because now I know what I did wrong and I can avoid that in the future. The other side of feeling insecure as an artist has to do with social media. So I was scrolling through Instagram recently and I saw somebody's profile that was all about cinematography and photography and all these beautiful things, and she was someone that I had gone to school with. We had the same training, we had the same teachers, all that, and I went onto her profile and I started scrolling and scrolling through her pictures, and they all looked gorgeous. And I looked at my own Instagram afterwards and I felt like, ooh, my stuff does not look as good as hers, which is crazy because we're at the same level, same age, we've had the same experience, so how is it that hers looks so much better than mine? This really doesn't help you in any way to be comparing yourself to others, even if they are in the same age group or the same, level of experience as you, because everybody grows differently as an artist. I mean, being in film school also kind of fueled this negativity in me a little bit, because people get a lot of really awesome opportunities, and if you're not the one that is getting, that awesome internship when your friend is, or you're not making that really cool looking film when your friend is, you really start to think, well, that just means that I'm not as good as them, or they've done something right and I'm doing everything wrong. My advice for that, and something that I'm also trying to stop doing, is stopping scrolling and scrolling and scrolling through all the social media sometimes, because when you do happen upon those things and you're tempted to click and keep looking and like really dig into it, just stop yourself, take a step back and remind yourself, you're doing this because you want to get better. Even those people that you think are perfect now, they always have something that they need to work on too. And maybe, if they're spending their time being a cinematographer and they're spending all their free time trying to learn how to do that, and you're not, or maybe you're trying to focus on some other area, just think of it that way. Think of it as choosing what you love to do most and spending your time to get the best at that, and also not comparing yourself to the process of somebody else who's doing the same thing of trying to get better and trying to be their best self as an artist. So I hope this video helps some of you today. I know it's a little bit different, a little bit more serious, again, kind of talking about just overcoming these things that stop us as growing as artists. And if you have any tips to share about, any point that you feel a little bit insecure, or finding something that you're good at and trying to get yourself to get better at it or practice it, definitely leave those below. Let us know what helps you the most, and be sure to like this video if you liked the video, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the bell notification if you want to be notified anytime that I post a video, go on over to my blog, whatthefilmschool.com, and go on over to my social media. All the links will be below. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys again soon.